JR was shoved by Beasley. Cornet gave it up. Burke set his feet and hit it. Good looking stroke. So Trey Burke gets his first three mode. He likes to use the glass too, especially from those wings. Backs out and hits it. So Trey Burke with 5. For his good buddy Jared Sullinger. Zizic pestered it, but still Burke scored it. In fact, it's been a long time, and we'll update it in a moment. Forced Jetty into a turnover and an easy jailbreak for New York.
Yeah, Jetty's trying to do too much. Can't do it by yourself, young man. You can't do it by yourself.
Right about that, partner. Burke takes his time and scores it. Trey Burke. So give him 13. 81-6. Ball swing to Dobson. Had to give it up. Burke plants and hits for 3. So Trey Burke back in his home state has 16 in the season series. Cavaliers won the last meeting here at the Q by 7. Long launch by Burke. Remember, the Cavs had their 13-game winning streak snapped.
Where he threw it from, right on target. That's unbelievable.
The strength of this guy, Mike, to make that pass. And the court vision as well by James.
That's an incredible statistic. 38-0 when leading after 3 as Burke hits that. 17 of them on the road.
Yeah.
Burke goes at George Hill, scoots by him, and Burke has come alive. Has had a field goal in the first half, has 3 here in the third.
Cavalier.
Want going forward, he's really shown some stuff. Moutier still has to show more, although he certainly has a contract for next year. Burke drills the three-pointer, and it's back to 6 again. Three-pointer. And Clarkson off the bench with 11. Trey Burke scoots inside, and Burke in double figures, 11.7 assists. Warming up for about a half hour earlier tonight as Burke is short, gets his own rebound, and gets the roll.
That play, exemplary of the play of Burke late in the season. National anthem. A big cheer from the crowd. A lot of hoopla in the building.
Here's Burke. His second field goal.
Previously, Burke was inside, and the second attempt to score this time.
Here's Burke, picks up the dribble, puts it up over Bledsoe, kept alive by O'Quinn. Inside for Burke, lays it in with the left hand.
Burke has 3 hoops, all coming in the paint. Good effort by KO that time.
At 6, 2.5 in first quarter from the Garden. Here's Burke, nice move.
Burke continues to astound with his ability to get into the paint.
And with the rejection, here comes Burke. Back to Burke, nails it.
Frank has to take the shot, a little overpassing, but it worked for the Knicks, and KO had
3 no good from Wayne Ellington, who just checked in.
Yep, Ellington, their best 3-baller.
Trey Burke now with 6 points.
Burke able to get that shot off among bigger guys. 2 guys.
2 minutes remaining in the quarter. Here's Burke into the paint, lays it in.
And Richardson's a good defender. 6 on Burke now. Previously, Burke eluding him to the hoop. Deja vu.
Burke does it again. 11. Johnson short. Here comes Hardaway. Burke hits a 3.
Timely hooping tonight by these Knicks.
One thing I always tell guys is that you have to show up every single game because you never know when your 50-point game is going to come as Burke hits the layup there. But he said
signs that he can be a superb player.
Yep, I think so, Mike. And they've got to go with his age. He's only 19, so.
And a young 19, if that makes sense, is Burke. One of those rarities now. 4 years of college before coming to the NBA at Pitt. Burke jump shot again. Burke hits again. He's now got 7 points.
This guy, remember, he's a 51%.
10-day contract, then a second one, then the rest of the season. Played his last 3 years of college ball at UConn. Burke shot rattles around and drops in.
That's the Iverson we see in this guy, man. The uncanny shots The dexterity along the baseline by Burke. In double digits, and they still have the lead.
Burke, his jump shot, and Burke now in double digits. He's got 11.
Hardaway leads all scores. Too long to get his shot off with the dribbling. Got to be more decisive.
Burke nails the jumper. Burke now 6 of 10 from the field. He's got 13.
This guy.
And the Bulls win. The two will be tied for the 8th worst record. It's all about lottery odds at this point. Two teams are great game for the injured Blake Griffin.
Oh, nice pick and roll. Dazzling passing by the Knicks.
And Burke hits a 3.
Yeah, how sweet it is.
By 4. There's Burke into the paint, up with the left hand and in.
Yeah, Burke would not be denied. Slice
From 3. O'Quinn with his 6th rebound.
right at his season's average.
Here is Burke. Trey Burke ties the game at 50. Michigan colors. Now has Nick orange.
Yep, bright orange, matching the uniforms they're wearing tonight.
Here's Burke. Speaking of Michigan men.
Yep.
Was be loving dad. Ever since then, he's been proud papa, watching his son on the floor. Of course, today, you know, he's trying to smile, but keep it down when his son scores on the floor.
Kid and Hill were co-MVPs of their rookie year. And Nash, of course, extraordinary what he did with Phoenix those years.
Here's Burke from 3. Trey Burke. Now at 18 points. Knicks pulls it.
Season-ending injury, excuse me. Careless pass, steal by Burke, lays it in. Trey Burke, and Brett Brown wants no more of that.
Ducked behind the basket, JJ wide open in the corner. Good find from Shishi.
Burke again, all told his 4th year from Michigan.
Joel busted it down the floor. He was the first guy down and had that deep post position before the defense could get set.
Let me tell you something, that was a sweet move by Burke because he had to really maneuver. 9, 3 boards, 7 assists as we begin what has been a terrific quarter for the Sixers lately, as Molly just detailed. Trey Burke rattling in 2.
Angle's different, the spot on the floor is different, the defender is covering him is different, and yet the result is still the same. Still gets buckets, Mr. Beasley. There, Burke on the left wing.
Yeah, he's... Burke hits for a 3. Got it. Trey Burke here to stay after starting the season in the G.
Sorry, when you get that contact right now, they're letting him slide, learning to play through it.
Burke for 3. There are a number of calls he doesn't get.
No, yeah.
Achieved twice, and Kemba has already received once. Achieved once. Trey Burke, a triple.
3-point basket, Trey Burke.
The Knicks, 2 wins this season at Madison Square Garden. They've made 12 threes. You've seen how Kemba Walker can turn it on so easily.
Trey Burke hangs and hits. Just curious, Del, 16 years in the NBA for you. You were known, obviously, as a shooter player.
Wow. He knew it, too. He took an extra dribble.
He was taking his time.
Yeah.
Trey Burke. So Kemba has now made 43 free throws for the second thing in that experience. Learned so much from one of the coolest guys in the history of the league, Walt Frazier. Trey Burke. Up and down. His usual self from behind the arc. He's now 0 for 3 shooting triples. Free throw jumper for Burke.
Nick knew that was down. Held the follow through up.
Wow. Burke is maybe 6 feet tall. Was able to get that up and over. Burke is bumped by Kemba, and he's got a chance for a 3-point play. Cantor into the game. Not going to fire from there. Burke on top of Malik Monk, who just checked into the game.
Fading to his right is what gave him the daylight to get that shot off. All of a sudden, Burke.
We got that effortless glide to his game. Burke, what's new? Trey Burke, a 20-point. Cantor nowhere to go. Burke a deep three. Good. God. He'd still be playing in Utah. Double team comes. Cantor has to pass. Ball finds Burke. Working against Kaminsky. Oh. Benefit of the doubt shot for Burke. Hornets lead by only 2, and it's Burke ahead of the pack. We're tied at 94.
Fans that are here tonight at Spectrum Center.
Trey Burke gets loose and cans another.
And he shoots that straight line mid-range.
After being the National Collegiate Player of the Year at Michigan.
This is a big part of his game that's improved on the defensive end of the floor.
Jeez. 32-point night for Burke. Wow. Up. Kemba's 0 for 6 from behind the arc, but he's 5 for 7 inside the arc. And another basket for Trey Burke. He has just set his... Burke. What's new? Points 35 and 36. Hornets led by 17 in the third quarter. It was all wiped away, in large part because of Trey Burke. Burke has been magical, particularly in the second half. He's now up to 38 points. And the Hornets lead is just 2. Shot clock is down to 4. Burke. Oh my goodness. 40 points for Burke. Throw that up there. There's only 3 on the shot clock. Burke hangs long enough for Dwight to fly by. He's got 42.
Hardaway. Pretty shot.
Yes, it was. Trey Burke.
Houston, they have taken the lead by 3.
This is interesting where Coach Brooks is going right now, subbing in Mike Scott, and he's also guarding Ennis Cantor. I think the Knicks might want to look at that mismatch on the post.
Trust me, it will be better when he comes back.
And that's a good point. But saying that about John, as Tim Hardaway Jr. misses the layup, but Trey Burks with the putback right there.
Beal gets a couple. Wizards cut it to 4 with 35 seconds to play in the half. That's a heck of a move. Trey Burke.
But I think with this win over Duke, is going to lead them to some newfound momentum and maybe some new confidence that that we are really truly a #1 seed and we can compete with Villanova.
Off the inbounds, Trey Burke knocks down the jumper.
Fan already, so I just couldn't fathom that. You know, here I am, my second year in the NBA, and winning a championship. Now, I remember when we beat Philadelphia, and right after the game.
Alley-oop knocked away on a heads-up play by Courtney Lee. And Burke the other way scores. Trey Burke making his old team pay. Off the iron, rebound to Burke.
Wow, that was a great look by Kelly.
Burke drives, he is fouled, and he scores on the play.
The best at 12.5 as well with turnovers.
Well, by Dallas and Charlotte, it goes to show you there's a lot of other things as Burke not to have to go right besides fewest turnovers. Both have had different. Trying to hang with Teague, reaches in, knocks it loose. Teague thought he was hit. Here comes Williams, throws it to Burke. Burke in for the layup. Nice defense from Burke, and he gets to finish it off down the other end.
Yeah, reach.
Become more aggressive offensively. Burke with the steal on a bad pass from Wiggins. Burke goes inside, layup is good. Tough shot with Towns in pursuit. And the Knicks have cut a 16-point lead to 2. Tom Thibodeau calls timeout. Burke comes across. Burke drives, layup, scoop shot is good. He's not afraid to go in amongst the Giants. Jordan, 14th rebound for Cantor.
Teague now 3 of 12.
And Burke knocks it down, cuts into 8. Timeout, Minnesota.
In the playoffs, but obviously they were not. They were desperate to come away with this victory, just using the 8 players.
Burke knocks down the three-pointer. 4.6 remaining in this quarter.
Heat lead by 16, biggest lead of the half for Miami. That's Burke. That's good for downtown. Trey Burke getting the Trey for New York. Easily eclipse that mark if he stays healthy.
One of the things we talk about once in a while that people lose sight of is the great conditioning that he and JJ has. They performed at their best in the second.
Great off the dribble, but so difficult to guard the way they run through screens. JJ Redick's another. That's a nice drive and score for Trey Burke. He got 5 points in a row for the Knicks. Sexual assault charges. It ended up no charges were filed. He was banned from the Oregon campus for 4 years. Finished up at Houston. Well, the Knicks triple right there from Trey Burke. Pretty much dominated after the first quarter where they led by 1 after 1. Burke for 3. Trey Burke. You can see why he's back in the NBA. It's 26 game with the Knicks after spending their modest 2-game winning streak. 4 on the 24 for New York.
Yeah, both of those wins were at home
against Charlotte and Chicago. Trey Burke, well, he's playing like he wants to stay in.
Combined, both teams. Here's Hicks, short, kept alive by the Knicks. Burke. Trey Burke just off the bench.
Yeah, he's been prolific off the bench, so at 6'3". Tremendous leaping ability there.
Out of LSU. Trey Burke. Now 2 for 2.
Yeah, good screen by KO to free up Burke.
Last 11 points in the second quarter. And then put up 36 in the third. Burke on the fade with the shot clock winding down.
Sweet move by Burke, utilizing his body.
Off a career high. Here's Grant, rejected by O'Quinn, and Grant hit the floor. And now Burke takes it all the way and is fouled.
Would lose my confidence.
I still, the first time you told me that, I didn't believe you.
Nice pass from Hicks. Burke hits the three-pointer. Knicks 4 of 7 from downtown and have their largest lead.
You mentioned this, Mike, your previous game. 17 of 33 against the Hawks. Can't find the range tonight.
Burke with a beauty.
Wondered if it ever would happen. Number 16 seed beating a 1 seed.
Maryland, Baltimore County as Trey Burke knocks down the 3. Burke 8 points off the bench.
Burke averaging, you're right, it's extraordinary.
Burke gets to the basket, no interior defense. And here shows you again a little modern NBA. Dwight Howard wasn't in the paint because Luke Cornett, the Knicks center,
Burke, little shake and bake, drills the jumper as he falls down.
Yeah, he's been doing it all evening. Razzle-dazzle game for Kimber Walker. Normally a Nick Nemesis, not tonight.
Burke shake and bake again, drills it. Burke in rhythm.
yeah, the Knicks just
Isolating, devastating.
he already has 17 points. You know, it's again, you talk about young players like that as Trey Burke hits it, and you look at his numbers, his scoring numbers, and his rebounding. But when
his family still stays in New York.
Not an easy thing to do. I don't think he goes back every day. As Burke knocks down the three-pointer. I will say this too. He's going to be a broadcaster.
Could have his own train actually.
Off the bench, he's 3 for 3, 7 quick points. Knicks back up 2 into the building and say those things he was saying. Uplifted Knicks fans in what has obviously been such a brutal stretch.
Yeah, you're right, Mike. He looked good. He sounded good. Very confident.
Dead last in the NBA. They've been better. It was brutal early in the season. Burke tries again. Burke hits again. 5 for 5. And Brett Brown calls timeout.
Burke put it on his
from Nash than the basketball part. So one thing Nash, Clyde, what do you think of this? Nash told him, you need to stay low. Oh, Burke again. He's 6 for 6. Says keep yourself a lower level of gravity. Burke, 2 to shoot. Drives, pulls back, 2 pointers up. That's good. Tough shot.
Burke with 16. Knicks back up 6.
Burke tantalized.
And after the Noel miss, here comes Beasley. Beasley for O'Quinn. Trey Burke, corner 3. O'Quinn triple teamed. Back out to Burke. And Burke nails a 3.
Ill-advised play by
off the bench for the Mavericks. And their lead is back up to 14.
Yeah, Barea, 35% 3-baller.
Burke, another 3.
Burke normally just 34% from that footer. Posting and toasting.
13 points for Nowitzki. Here's Burke off the crossover. So Trey Burke's had the hot hand. He's now 4 of 5. Here comes Burke. Now he pulls it back out and then drives on Collinsworth and lays it in with the left hand and the foul.
He tries to get it going.
Here comes Burke off the turnover. Burke drives and lays it in, pulling the Knicks to within 4.
Thomas doing a good job, but he's limping back up the court. Burke has been struggling with his shot.
Burke knocks it down.
Yeah, that should give him some confidence. He loves the pick and roll. Good screen by KO to free him up.
Burke just 4 for his way. Jeff Hornacek indicated there's a good chance he'll be back in the starting lineup on Tuesday against Dallas. Burke with his second bucket. So the Knicks with the first 5 points. The Raptors lead to 10.
Collided with Cornette. No foul call.
Here's Burke. Hits the floor.
Feline quickness by Burke. Swooping to the hoop with the left hand.
We have slide.
All right. What about Buck?
That's right.
Williams.
Here's Trey Burke. Derek Williams.
Time the beneficiary from downtown.
Burke puts it up and hits.
Nice shaking and baking by Burke.
His parents were there. He became the first player in NBA history to hit 3 threes and have 4 blocks in his NBA debut.
Wow.
Luke Cornette.
With 7. Yeah.
He's into it, that's for sure.
Yeah, and sometimes, you know, it's going to be counterproductive for him. But you can never fault his effort and his hustle and his intensity.
And then the extra pass from CJ to free the shooter Connaughton. 12-point lead. Burke the other way. Straight arms drives and scores.
Right there, Burke took advantage. Open court in transition in last night's game.
Well, Dame is doing that 90% for the great Lillard. Burke coaxes one in. 3:28 remaining.
13 straight points for the Kings in the last 3 minutes. And a bank shot is good for Burke. That ends the drought.
Well, Burke fortunate that looked like the.
Down to 2 minutes and 35 seconds here in the third. Burke stops from 16 and connects. And the Knicks not going away. They're within 12. 81-69. Burke with the basket. 43 seconds left.
On hand of Scal.
Yes.
Got to get it away from the defender.
Boy, that was close to a travel. Here's Burke, and it's a 10-point game. Remember that sequence I told you where it was a 4-point swing to keep in mind? 3 run currently. Burke. And that now makes it 95-88.
Well, Trey Burke's a good shooter. He's never, for a small guy, not experienced
on the other end.
Formula falling completely out of the rotation, kind of earned his spot back. His job against Harden the other night. There's another 3-ball thrown. This is Trey Burke, and he can score. Speaking of basketball sneakers, sports shoes. In Doff's case, maybe any other kind of shoes for that matter.
I think there's probably some guys in the NBA that haven't bought any shoes since the 8th grade.
Good close out in the corner. 6 in the shot clock. Baseline jumper is good by Trey Burke.
So maybe he can play 10 more years.
But it'd be great to see a guy play 20 years in a triple uniform,
That's right.
Get his number hanging up there in the rafters.
Cornette blocked his shot on the last possession. He went right back at him.
There's no question he is a skilled player. Three balls falling for the Knicks now, but it's way too little.
Offensive first quarter for both teams.
Stop salivating, Mike. No D being played in this one, folks.
Burke taking Pachulia, ties it up.
Defensively, yeah.
Hardaway finds some room, throws it back out. Burke fakes the three. Pull-up jumper, it's good. Trey Burke quickly off the bench, coupling from Moutier to keep it away from Green.
Cantor asserting himself that time defensively.
Trey Burke, pull-up jumper, got it. Burke's third field goal.
Yeah, he can exploit Curry. These guys are perpetual motion. You got to keep moving.
Burke drives the lane, just blows past Green and Thompson. Terrible defense from the wall. Durant guarding Burke. Nice finish by Burke, shot blocked, but a goaltend. Well, that was a sweet move from Trey. Next the other way. Hicks drives, pass inside of O'Quinn, back out to Burke. Burke fires, this time hits the three-pointer.
Good perseverance by the Knicks.
Moutier, 23 points and 7 assists. Burke, another just sweet move from Burke. He's got a great little crossover and has one of his goals this year. He wants to shake his reputation as a poor defender. So he's really, if Burke gets hit, knocks it down.
Three-point arc. That time short his stuff.
Jaylen Brown with 8 now. Burke the other way. It's on the baseline. Trey Burke pulls the Knicks back within 2.
Instant offense is Burke.
Burke on the switch against Monroe. 5 to shoot. With the speed, flings it up and in. Trey Burke with the basket.
Yeah.
Good. 11 games after lacerating his hand. Burke putting on the moves. Burke again.
Burke percolating again.
The first quarter and 10 seconds for the Knickerbockers.
Good perseverance by the Knicks. Celtics had a big lead at one time.
Burke again. Hits the three. Trey Burke. Instant energy off the bench.
Was on display that time by Smart. Very smart play coming up with the steal.
Burke answers for the Knicks. Trey Burke with 12 points. He's 5 of 6 to get minutes for all of your guards, let alone guys like Jared Jack. Jack hasn't played again tonight, but the others have thrived in this setup. Burke, the most of which tonight.
The way these guys are going at it. A lot of physicality underneath that hoop now.
Burke looking for his shot here in the second half. Hits his second three. 20 Kina. Burke trying to capitalize off the turnover. Slips by and scores. Timeout, Brad Stevens. The Knicks cerebral. O'Quinn freeing up space. Trey Burke knocks it down. 24 for Trey Burke.
Burke bringing up a little insanity, folks.
Williams skies for the board. Burke behind the back to the rim. Trey Burke, 26, matching his season high from Thursday.
Burke floating it in. Trey Burke, the number 9 pick out of Michigan, who tried to feed Biyombo, but it's picked off.
Give Ntilikina a lot of credit. He never stopped running.
Burke, a clothesline three-pointer for the Magic during the timeout. Michael Beasley came back in for New York, and Luke Cornett checked in. Trey Burke knocks down a 2-pointer.
Luke Cornett, he had the pass available and had contested the shot.
Burke buries a three. Trey Burke, he's in double.
This past year's turned out well for him. He's in a place where they really like him. He's had opportunity.
Burke is officially heating up.
Yes, he is.
Fournier.
Led Gordon perfectly on that one. 18 assists now in the game for the Magic here in the first half.
Trey Burke. Here's Burke firing over Hezonja. He's still hot. Trey Burke now with 16. His season high is confidence.
Yes, he is.
Burke might have gotten away with a push-off and then knocked down a jumper.
turnovers and offensive rebounding by the Knicks, hurting the Magic, David, and that guy, Trey Burke. Yeah. Magic was 6 turnovers in the third quarter. They give up
double figures for Jay Sims. The win decks Mack, and Burke drills a jumper.
KO that. Ooh, there.
Boy, what a night for Trey Burke. His best game quarter. .26 for Trey Burke. His career high.
Gave it back to him.
And look at the unselfishness from Young as Oladipo wows the crowd. And Trey Burke comes right back with a jumper.
16 made threes. Remember that from was that Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid? Robert Redford, Paul Newman. You remember that movie?
These things happen. He's always running the floor, so he gets buckets like that, follow-ups, alley-oops, and defensively, he's just altering shots all over the place. Trying to get that one, couldn't get there. But you got to
put his headset down, and he would have left the building.
And Lucas would have turned back and looked at Jamie and said, "Man, he got nothing." No.
Raptors will win this one. Trey Burke with the deep three. Count it. 113-88.
You get the feeling, and again, you just never know to pull the trigger, that Quinn almost lost it again. And it looks like trade one of their centers. Is Trey Burke nails the three. Came down, landed awkwardly on his left leg. Looked like he turned his ankle, but completely right away grabbed his left knee. And it's Burke. Nice adjustment and throws it. Patrick not hesitant to shoot, like all great Yonkers players. Burke gets past Parker. Layup is good.
Good perseverance by
other. By the way, they just retired his jersey at White Plains.
Oh yeah. Remember, Lynn was sleeping on the couch and he left me there, kid. I couldn't travel. I was really in bad shape.
Here is Burke. Nails a three.
Burke's native.
Nets and Jets. Here's Burke. Trey Burke has got a couple off the bench. A 7-0 Knicks run.
A good screen.
The rookie out of Oregon. Second round pick by the Hawks. Pulls Atlanta to within 2. Here's Burke. Trey Burke. 3 for 4 off the bench after he did not play on Friday. 12 rebounds now for Cantor to go along with his 8 points. Burke. Trey Burke. Now 4 of 6, 9 points in only 9 minutes. Trey Burke. And the Knicks go on top by 2.
Lethal jumper by Burke. They were pretty heated about Thomas should have been in the game. Han was saying Thomas should have been out there defending on the cuckoo.
It's Trey Burke again.
Yeah, Burke feasting with that jumper.
And Burke looking to push.
Knicks can get whatever they want. Move the ball, move themselves, get an open shot.
Burke in the paint, and Burke scores. And another timeout from Kenny Atkinson. He's upset with Jared Allen, his rookie.
By Lee. Murray didn't get anything on it. 29-20. And Burke along the baseline. All right, timeout on the floor. Nuggets, Torrey Pines trying to make the cut. The golf world is over the top. Trey Burke.
Yeah, the pick and roll's hurting Denver. They're hitting jump shots. They're getting rolled, guys.
22 and 18 last year, so they're almost for sure they're going to break that. As Trey Burke wants it in. Good pickup.
Well, another guy that really kind of went dead in the water for
it away from Trey Burke. Burke turns the corner and knocks it in. Marking it up a little bit more in this screen and roll. Lyles picks him up on the switch. And a tough shot for Burke. Trey Burke was once a high draft pick, Scott. Kind of felt. His three-point shooting tonight, darn good. 55% as the Knicks answer back. 45 remaining. Trey Burke. He looks like he could be on the All-Star team. 16 points, 10 assists. He's made 7 of 10 shots. But the Knicks won't go quiet. This is Burke.
See, you start playing for that screen and you just give the straight drive. I mean, at the end.
Missing there. How good has Van Vliet been for Toronto?
Very good. I like him. He competes.
So this guy's only played 3 games for the Trey Burke, right?
But their defensive rating is going to go down. They're number 5 on the season.
Going to get their 38th win of the season. They take care of the Knicks. They never led in the first.
They're obviously keeping an eye on him.
Yeah, but he ran back down, so.
Shot. That's Trey Burke. Trey Burke comes into the game. They just signed him. That's simple.
It's good to be able to find a guy with the hot hand on a play like that. Trey Burke is having his way now.
Well, he's a scorer. It was a teammate.
Points in 13 minutes. Deservedly so. He shoots 39 from 3, and he's not Gordon Hayward. And he's not going to be Gordon Hayward. There's Trey Burke. He was a member of the Jazz his first 3 seasons to get ready. Here's Trey Burke from outside, and he cans a 3, pushes the lead back to 5 for the Knicks. Timeout, Utah. The former tonight. Cantor's been booed every time he's touched it. Former Utah player. Another former Jazz, Trey Burke, with 5 big points down the stretch here. Well, Rubio's chasing Trey Burke around at the half-court line, and he got on the wrong side of him, and all he did was.
As a backup with Washington last season, Utah before that. Burke, ball fake, that's for 2. Trey Burke cans it.